There's a Zombie Island sequel?
I think we've reached our limit for the day.
Yeah, a sequel. Let me give you some history on why this is a big deal. The original Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island from 1998 had this balance of wanting adults and kids watching, so it was a bit of a darker, more violent take on Scooby-Doo. The gang investigate a haunting at a Louisiana plantation on Moonscar Island, where they face zombies, ghosts, and cat people. The commercials advertise the gimmick of no bad guys in costumes. This time, the monsters are real.
This time, the monsters are real.
Even though there were prior Scooby-Doo cartoons with real monsters, but I don't think any of those had the whole gang together. Zombie Island really injected new life into Scooby-Doo. The franchise was very sparse in the 90s, only showing up in random specials and like one movie no one remembers. But after Zombie Island's release, Scooby-Doo got a movie every year to this day, and 21 years later, it got a sequel, The Return to Zombie Island from 2019. Let's consider this the 16th worst cartoon ever, in no particular order. Haven't done this in forever. It's Juice and Jam time!
What are we going to do? We're doomed!
So much better. So my friend Emma Nicole Smith does a podcast on horror called The Fear Signal. You can hear me rage about this movie in the recordings taking place minutes after I finished watching it, linked below. But yeah, Zombie Island 2. Nothing you loved about the original is here. It's not dark or spooky, there's no terror time again, and no Velma and Daphne flirtations.
This just gets better and better. Maybe from where you're standing.
Everything in part 2 is brighter and light-hearted and not as threatening. It's a completely neutered take on Scooby-Doo. The story has the gang winning a trip to an oddly familiar hotel in Louisiana, while they spend a good chunk of it wondering, have we been here before? Is this a place we were at before? I think I've seen this before. It's like, yes, you've been here, we, the audience, know it, just acknowledge it already, do something! Considering how they haven't aged, it's really weird. For us, the previous movie came out 21 years ago, but to them, they could have been here last week, yet they still don't recognize it. And this hotel they're staying at, the guest book to sign in has a few pages ripped out for some reason. They later reveal it's so the gang doesn't notice they've signed in before.
There were pages ripped out of it. Pages that had the signatures of previous guests, including us. Uh-huh.
How little time has it been where only 3 pages or so are cut out? Also, this hotel used to be a house in the previous movie, so they never signed in to begin with. They flash back to the previous movie and show this as a fact. It makes no sense.
'Cause, like, we were there!
We arrived at a house that looked a lot like this hotel.
Also, currently they're still teenagers, whereas in the first movie they were young adults with jobs.
No wonder you became a reporter. That moat monster almost sliced you up like a pepperoni pizza. And then we wouldn't have Coast to Coast with Daphne Blake, your very successful syndicated series on Americana, going on its 2nd season, I might add.
Wow, thanks Chris, the daytime talk show host lady who only appears in this one scene solely to inform us of how successful Daphne is and how worthless my accomplishments are. From this expo dump, we understand Daphne's a grown adult with both a career and a reason to live, but not according to the sequel.
She was just
Reminiscing, yeah, about that summer when I was working at that TV station for my school project.
like, yeah, we know.
What? Why age them down or take away Daphne's accomplishments? What's the point? Apparently this movie is also a sequel to the previous direct-to-video movie, Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the 13th Ghost, which is a continuation to the 80s cartoon, Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts. So Return to Zombie Island is this merging highway of different continuities trying to DP the same $2 hooker to the point of suffocation. Way to go. To be fair, Return to Zombie Island is not horrible, it's just boring. This is a franchise with such a standard formula that it feels completely lifeless. Like, yeah, there's the chase scene. I normally review sequels or unoriginal ideas as their own thing, but this time, I just can't. I've seen this so often from Scooby-Doo that this movie was just exhausting. I was hoping it would start off family-friendly and slowly get more ominous, but that never came. I swear, I thought the movie director they met was going to become a Dead Rising villain in the climax.
Oh no, what did you do?
We can't leave. Not until we finish this movie. We have to finish.
But no, he just goes back to normal after that. It's such a tease. So, was there anything I liked?
Hello, sweeties. It's me, Elvira, your spooktacular hostess with the mostest.
Well, Elvira made a cameo. What's kind of cool is they also info dumped this long-ass recap of the first movie. I know it's for people who haven't seen the original, but maybe this is too much info to follow. It's kind of neat they reanimate a few scenes instead of recycling footage. It looks good at first, but now you see how much the brighter colors ruin everything. So congratulations WB on wasting animation time and money redoing footage to make it look worse. Why not just recycle footage? It's a flashback. Who cares if it's 4x3 or whatever?
But we were able to stop them and they melted into nothing. You know, I was never really satisfied with how that whole thing turned out. Since we're back, we could break this thing wide open.
It's a good tribute, but then the movie finds a way to ruin itself further. Remember how last time the monsters were real?
This time, the monsters are real.
Well, apparently Velma rationalizes all those zombies and ghosts and cat people as swamp gas. Just hallucinations.
This time, the monster is in the trunk!
I don't know if we're supposed to accept that or if she's supposed to be wrong, but I don't care enough about this movie to think critically about it. It's so unnecessary. Also, throughout the film, frickin' Panthro from Star Wolf is causing trouble and no one ever catches him. He escapes without being noticed, further leaving a mystery. Will they ever solve who that was?
Maybe they still exist, roaming the island for their next victim.
Oh my god, who the fuck cares? They seriously went from believing real monsters to disproving them only to hint at real monsters existing again. Beyond brand recognition, what was the point of this movie being made? It feels like no one cared. It's another movie after 21 years of yearly installments. If the first Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island revitalized the franchise, Return to Zombie Island is a lifeless husk walking the wasteland inside Kmart. But I have some hope. Maybe that upcoming movie Scoob will inject life into this franchise one more time.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Now we can make it a blockbuster night. That's right, kids. When you rent a kids movie, you can get a cool blockbuster play pack free. Inside, you'll find a really cool surprise. The blockbuster play pack, just for us. Just for fun.
Now you can buy Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island tonight and go home happy. The Master of Mystery is back. Where? Scooby-Dooby-Doo in an all-new animated movie. This time the monsters are real. Scooby-Doo, buy it at Blockbuster Video.
It's more amazing than Reptile Boy found in swamp.